and welcome to Tips and Tricks Thursday. So today we're going to be sort of talking about a topic that most of you guys are probably like, ugh. This has been something that people have been talking to me about for the past year, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. But because you have that attitude, I have a feeling that you need a little bit of a reminder about this particular topic, because a lot of you guys, a lot of my students especially, and several students all over are probably coming back to school in person for their fourth quarter. So this means that while you're in school, you're going to be needing to wear a mask, right? So I just want to remind you guys some tips and tricks about mask wearing, how to sort of make it better for you, especially if you're not used to wearing a mask for a long period of time. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. And I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about different kinds of masks and how you can wear them in different ways. Hopefully that makes sense, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. So when you're in the school building, you're going to be needing to wear a mask at all times. The only times that you don't need to wear a mask are when you're eating. And when you are eating, you need to make sure that you're staying in one place. So for example, I have some students that eat breakfast when they first come in. So they will sit at their table, eat their food as quickly as possible. And then when they get up to throw their trash away, they need to put their mask back on. And then the mask stays on for the rest of the time. The other time, of course, is when they go to lunch, because you're eating, right? So they go to lunch and they sit in very specific places, social distancing, and they have to wear a mask at all times unless they are eating. This is, of course, is to keep you safe, of course, okay? So then we're thinking about, then there's PE and all this stuff. The weather is getting a little bit warmer, and it's probably going to be a little annoying to have to wear a mask, especially when you're running around the gym or doing any activities that you might be doing in PE or going outside, this, that, or the other. But it's still important. You got to keep that mask on. So my first tip or trick deals with those hot days where you may be running around in gym class and your mask gets all sweaty and gross. So my first tip is to make sure you bring a spare. One thing that my students asked me before they started coming back in person, they would email me and be like, Ms.Murray, what do I need to bring to class? So of course I said, bring your laptop, bring your charger, bring your headphones, bring a water bottle, and bring 2 masks. Because one might get soiled in some way, or it might just not be working for you. So you want to bring 2 different kinds of masks to make sure that you wear something that works for you. Because being in a mask all day is a little annoying, but it's really easy once you get used to it. I didn't think I'd get used to it, but you know what? I did, and I'm really, really happy about that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some different kinds of masks. So some people might be wearing cloth masks. This is my Friday mask because we play Among Us on Fridays. So this is a cloth mask that I got offline. It's ear loops. It's really comfortable, and it sort of has the pleats on the back, so it'll stretch out like it needs to. And this is a really good go-to mask. So of course you put the loops over your ears. You want to make sure that you have your nose and your mouth covered and that everything looks good. So here's another tip. This is for my people that wear glasses, okay? One of the biggest issues that I have with mask wearing is that I get my glasses all fogged up, and it's really, really annoying. So here's my other tip. So when you're putting on your mask, I recommend taking a big deep breath and holding it until you get your mask adjusted over your nose and under your glasses so they don't fog up as quickly. Another big tip with that is make sure that you get a mask that has some type of metal in the nose piece, and that should sort of help it conform to your nose so you're able to prevent that fogging up of your glasses. So this is a mask I highly recommend, very comfortable. The cloth masks are, and all you got to do is take them home and throw them in the washer, and then they're nice and clean. And also good for the environment because you're not throwing them away. Okay, so that is a good mask, right? So sometimes, especially, I'm guessing for middle schoolers, because everybody's growing and all that stuff, you might be buying like kids masks that are for little kids. And you might not realize that they're not going to fit you right. So if you get a mask that happens to be too small, you probably want to replace that. So I'm going to put on a mask that I wear for very quick errands, because it's a little bit too small for me, and I'm going to show you how I know that it's too small. So let me put this on. Do you see my ears? How they get all bent? That's showing me right now that this mask is too small. This mask is good for very quick trips, like when I go pick up coffee from Starbucks, right? Because I'm just sitting in my car going through a drive-through. I wear this mask to make sure the person in the drive-through is safe. But going into the grocery store or wearing this all day at school would not be a good idea, because it's already starting to hurt my earring up here, right? So, and that it can wear and tear on your ears. So you want to make sure you have a well-fitted mask, like the Among Us one that I was wearing a couple minutes ago, right? Okay, so if a mask is pulling at your ears like this, it's probably too small and you should probably look for another one. So on the other side of the spectrum, we might have masks that are too big. This has been the biggest issue with my students right now. I am always constantly going like this because those masks are slipping underneath noses because they're too big. So here's my recommendation for when you have a mask that's too big. So a lot of the times these masks here, the disposable ones, these tend to be a little bit too big for my middle schoolers. So what I have them do is I take the ear loops and I tell them to cross them like this. Well, let me put on my nose, that might help. So when you're putting it on, you want to cross the loops and put those around your ears. And then do all of your adjusting, right? So that should help with it being too big. Now you know it's too big is when it's sliding under your nose, or it's swallowing whenever you talk, and you don't have a nice snug fit. Like right now, this is still a little bit big because I have these big 2 holes right here that are, you know, they can let stuff in. It's not flush against my face. So this mask probably wouldn't be a good mask because it's a little too big. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are wearing masks that are just right for you. And I think the cloth masks are good because they, people that make them in different sizes and they can be slightly adjustable. I don't have this example with me, excuse me, but I have one that has a little bead on the loop and I can make it go up and down, which allows me to get a much better fit. So that's another reason why the cloth masks, other than being good for the environment because you're not tossing them away, are a good choice to use, especially during the school day. So that is my little video about mask wearing. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will get to them as soon as I can. And yeah, I think that's it. So make sure that when you go back to school or you go anywhere that you're wearing your mask, that you're staying safe, because I want you guys all to be happy and healthy, awesome people. So that's all I got for you today. I'll see you tomorrow for First Chapter Friday. See you then. Bye.